realize that I might be the next press secretary for a Joe Biden presidency. So that was cool hearing that, because how many people behind the scenes are going, is there any way to get this guy out of office? What if I told you that the office of president-elect imaginary office holder Joe Biden may have given us a clue yesterday as to exactly how he would do it to get rid of him? I'm not kidding. First we start with how Joe Biden is going to make sure that all of you mask up. It's simple. First 100 days. How about 100 days of masking?
Today I'm inaugurated to say I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask. Just 100 days to mask. Not forever, 100 days.
That is a cutting-edge idea. I mean, I'm wondering why nobody thought about wearing masks at all. Gosh, that is something else. I'm really glad that Joe Biden, as the imaginary office holder, president-elect, has the science and the data to show that if we masked up for 100 days, that everything would be just fine. We would watch the vid magically just disappear. There it goes into the ether. I think Nancy Pelosi put it best one day when she said,
"Bowl of doggy do."
I might agree with that. So you got Joe Biden, who wants to be the president of the United States, and through his office of imaginary president-elect is going to now tell us that, listen, 100 days, we mask up, everything will be, we'll get this thing beat. Oh, you better believe it. I got ideas that you have no idea I'm going to pull out of my, whatever orifice. But anyway, I digress. How about this little nugget from yesterday? It was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on a stage together, socially distanced. Not wearing masks, but socially distanced, speaking with Jake Tapper. It's the first real interview about what they'll be doing as, whatever they want to be, because they can make all of this stuff up right now, because as of right now, I'm not convinced that they're going to be the president and vice president elect. So I'll sit back and wait. But listen to this nugget, everybody. When asked about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and their differences of opinion that they may have, how are they going to get along? Advice from Kamala to Joe Biden and vice versa, and that relationship. How do you guys get along? And Joe Biden reflecting on not only that, but how he got along with Barack Obama. Listen to this listen to this nugget.
The thing, we are simpatico on our philosophy of government and simpatico on how we want to approach these issues that we're facing. And so I don't have, and when we disagree, it'll be just like, so far, it's been just like when Barack and I did.
And what did you and Barack do? Your buddy Barack, what did you guys do when you were in office? How did it work?
It's in private. She'll say, I think we should do A, B, C, or D. And I'll say, I like A, don't like B and C. Mm-hmm. And it's go, okay. But
okay. And it's like, okay. I get the impression that Barack said, Joe, what do you think? And Joe would go, I don't know. Joe would walk up and say things like,
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And Barack would be like, yeah, don't worry about it, Joe. Just sit down here. Here's some oatmeal. All right. So Joe Biden now with Kamala Harris together, they're going to work together hard. And so listen to this nugget about how this relationship works.
And I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Excuse me? The first takeaway is there's a lot of similarity between and so maybe he was hanging around with Barack a little too much. But then if you guys don't get along, what?
A moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign. What the heck does that mean? Now, nothing instills confidence in a fake office of President-elect Joe Biden and the American people feeling confident in having his back. Then a guy was like, hey, if we disagree, then I'll make up some kind of disease and I'll leave. What? Yeah, nothing instills confidence in a president like that. But then the other part of it is, like, is this a prelude? Are you telling us that if you don't get along with Kamala Harris, that you're going to make believe you got some kind of disease and you're going to bow out? I mean, like who? I just want to get this straight. 80 million people voted for.
I'll develop some disease.
So 80 million people voted for a guy that thinks that he'll develop some disease and bow out if he. And I'm sure that places like China and Russia, they are quaking in their boots listening to this guy being the next president of the United States. Actually, they wouldn't be quaking. They're actually hands together and a little bit of this, like, ooh, that sounded French, didn't it? That was stereotyping. That's not very nice. All right. 239-479-5592. There's a lot of crazy out there that we got to decipher and get through from the imaginary office of the president elect and figure out what it is that he's going to be doing and policies that are going to be moving forward. Because I could tell you this, there's some danger out there, everybody. There's some danger in the people that he's going to be bringing into in a future administration, and the people that he's going to surround himself with, and the ideology that is going to take hold. And if you got a guy who's like, listen, if I don't agree on certain policies with Kamala, then I'll develop a disease and bow out. What? But we're also going to get to the audio of Rudy Giuliani and the Trump legal team in Georgia and voter fraud and footage of poll workers stopping the count in Georgia and then going underneath a table to grab suitcases filled with ballots and start to count them. Where did they come from? Why didn't poll workers get to see this? And why isn't the media all over this, local, state, and national? Why aren't you all jumping all over this as opposed to President-elect Biden, President-elect Biden, President? No. Get on this. All right. Let's see. We'll go to a call before we go to break. Steve's in Bonita. Hey, Steve.
You hit on what I was going to talk to you about there. I was watching it last night when they were airing it on Newsmax. And
wait, hold on, Steve. Steve, can you do me a favor? Could you address me properly, please?
Mr. Drew?
No, I'm President-elect Steele from now on.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. President-elect Steele. Yeah, no. So this morning, I don't watch the fake news, but I wanted to see how they covered it. Last night, I flipped through the talk shows, and they were hitting the two that I saw wanted to talk about the weird looks of the witnesses that the Republicans are bringing in. Then this morning, I fought my throw up reflex and watched Savannah the comedy. Guthrie, they never, so far it's still going on, but they haven't mentioned one word about it. Their lead-in news was the legalization of pot, and the Tiger King woman got her arm ripped off last night or something. But anyway,
that's huge. That's what the country cares about, obviously. And gas pump girl Nikki Fried, who wants to run for governor, she cared about that as well here in the state.
Well, I'm sure she'll get a good backing from our lawyer friend. But the problem we're having, what can we do about these media? I mean, this fake news is ridiculous. This is as close to communism you get. They take over the media and drive, because most people that listen to you, of course, study what's going on, but most people don't know what's going on. So how do we stop that? Can we make them change their news to opinion instead of news?
Well, here's a couple of things that we can do, and I'm going to play the audio. Steve, listen, and Benita, thanks for calling. I appreciate it, and thanks for addressing me from now on properly as President-elect Steele. I mean, listen, if I got an office here, I'm making this office right behind me in my home that you can see if you're watching on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. I'm going to make this. I'm going to actually get a sign back here that says Office of President. I should have one. I mean, listen, it's an imaginary thing. I can have it. So thank you for addressing me as President-elect Steele. I like that. Two things. Number one, to Steve's point, there is something that you can do. You can search out different places to get your news. Oh, that's echo chambers. It's like Parler. That's why people go to Parler, you moron, because it's free speech, because they don't want their speech being stifled and their opinions being shut down by some guy named Jack. Jack? The second thing is you go to alternative sources, and like you said, you watch stuff on Newsmax and One News America, OAN, and other places, and you're finding all of these different places now that are available all across the interwebs. Thank you, Al Gore, to introduce you to the right way, the right all along side, if you will. For those that don't know, yesterday, Rudy Giuliani and the Trump legal team presented to Georgia in this vote hearing that was happening there with the legislature, video footage of suitcases filled with ballots being pulled from underneath the table. And here's how it was described, the situation being set up.
At about 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there.
A woman in blonde braids who came in at 10:30 at night and said, "We're not counting anymore. Everybody needs to go home. Get out of here. Let's go." And kicked everybody out, kicked out people counting votes, kicked out the poll workers, and then brought in a black table and underneath suitcases filled with ballots. But nothing to see here, all you local, state, and national media outlets. We got an office of the president-elect. It's pretty sweet.
So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table.
Yeah, four suitcases. No big deal.
Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out.
Yeah, they're showing video evidence of what she's describing.
So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots?
Being counted while nobody's around. Anybody wants to ask that question? If you're a journalist, this is your time to shine. If you're an activist, this is your time to avoid. You've got one side or the other side. Can we just make this clear as the wind-driven snow? No, that's white as the wind-driven snow. As clear as the day. Well, it's not today because it's a little cloudy out. Can I just make this as clear to you as possible? If you are the media, the mainstream media, the fake news media, what Nancy Pelosi would like to describe to every American as
bowl of doggy doo.
You have 2 choices. You can either see for your own eyes what is happening, hear it being described, and doing some journalism and digging in and finding out the truth and then presenting it to your audience as a journalist. Or you can be an activist and ignore that it's happening because you desperately want Orange Man out and you want your crazy Uncle Joe to be president of the United States because he's going to make everything all better. That guy is the real deal.
I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Because you love that guy, because that's the guy you want. That's not journalism, that's activism. You see the difference. And why do people get discouraged with you? I don't know. 239-479-5592. All right, when we come back, top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35, and then Mike Opelka joins us as he does each and every Friday. Looking forward to that and your calls coming up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The FDA will consider emergency use authorization for Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine candidate on Thursday and Moderna's vaccine candidate on December 17th. The FDA's deliberations come after Pfizer and Moderna claim their vaccine is over 90% effective in clinical trials. About 150 or around 17% of U.S. Cadillac dealers will exit the brand rather than sell electric cars, deciding against spending roughly $200,000 on dealership upgrades. The nationwide average price of regular gasoline rose 4 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks to $2.22. Asian shares retreat after reports the U.S. is preparing to impose sanctions on some Chinese officials. Crude oil prices fell on surging virus cases, and U.S. stock futures fell overnight. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Salchi and
Hey everybody, just wanted to say good morning to you. I don't have a camera this morning, and I'm going to be working on that this week. And to be honest with you, because you all are taking the time to watch the video and stream it live on YouTube, I appreciate it, is that, we got a new puppy last night. And probably last night was not the night to get a brand new puppy. And so I am like... it's a wreck. Like, this place is, I'm in my home studio. I'm the one that's taking care of the dog because I wanted to get this for my son for Christmas. We got a little early because he was excited. And so I'm doing all the legwork. So the reason why you don't see me right now, but you'll hear the show all morning. Sorry to say that you won't see anything this morning unless there's an opportunity to get some decent clothes on and get this place cleaned up, is because it's going to be crazy town with this dog and with the family. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you for watching and listening. And we'll be back. And by the way, the reason, and that was a replay of Friday's 8 a.m. show. And the reason why was because I'm trying to get everything together here. But we will be live coming up in about 5 more minutes. So thanks for hanging in there, everybody. I appreciate you.
Of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO Bonita Springs, 239-992-2626, 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake the Millennial for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life starting now. And River Hall is where it all starts. A true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master planned communities, with homes priced from the 500s to the 800s. Upscale country club living, complete with a Davis Love III championship golf course, all waiting for you. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support, and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store, and I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought him. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Has a little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing we can try again next weekend is tough. When what you want to hear is wow, we at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
I just had my checkup, and my doctor could tell I've been eating healthier, but sometimes I have a hard time covering the cost of food. Luckily, my Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan offers me a healthy foods card to help me pay for food at certain stores. If you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may get $25 to spend on approved groceries. You just swipe it like a credit card. My Humana Medicare plan also covers a lot more, such as medications, dental, eyeglasses, doctor visits, and hospital stays. Do what I did. Talk to Humana.
Talk to a Humana licensed sales agent now by calling toll-free 1-844-706-0557. Humana is a coordinated care plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Florida Medicaid program. Enrollment in this Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Sponsored by Humana Medical Plan, Inc. and the State of Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. Plans may not be available in all areas. Benefits may vary by plan. Call to learn what plans are available in your area.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my good friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. And I love talking to Dave because when I talk to Dave, I know that means he has something special for you. In this case, like I have in my home, CoreTech is absolutely amazing, Dave. And I got to tell you, I love it. My wife loves it. And boy, you've got a lot of CoreTech right now in stock.
Yes, we do. And we've got about 6 or 7 truckloads coming to beat the tariff increase. And we're going to guarantee a freeze of the prices on all our in-stock CoreTech. We're not going to go up 50 cents a square foot, and we're going to save it for our customers.
And so when it comes to CoreTech, I mean, it is just amazing the selection that you have. And not only that, the installation is incredible. What you do there is fantastic.
Yes, and we stock 100 colors of CoreTech.
Floor Meisters, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. State Attorney Amira Fox announced that the state has filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty against Nicholas Canfield. Now, back in October, Canfield was indicted on first-degree murder, sexual battery, and 3 counts of aggravated child abuse. Investigators say Canfield killed a child in April. A driver loses control of his car and slams into a tree. FHP tells us the 35-year-old driver died and his 42-year-old passenger has serious injuries. The crash happened in Collier County along Golden Gate Parkway and Airport Road North. Crash is under investigation. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida and 2 new deaths, one's in Collier County, the other in DeSoto. Today, Fort Myers City leaders will discuss hiring a new city manager. This comes after Saeed Kazemi submitted his retirement letter to Mayor Kevin Anderson last week. The mayor called on him to resign. Kazemi's retirement goes into effect May 3rd. Starting this week, 2 of the busiest roads in Fort Myers will connect. The Hanshin Street extension will connect Veronica Shoemaker to Ortiz Avenue. City leaders hope it'll alleviate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. MLK runs parallel to both Hanson and Colonial. If you're not happy with your child's learning model, you can switch it earlier. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you're interested in changing the models, we've put a link on the Wink News app for you with all the information you need. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida, with 2 new deaths. One is in Collier, the other in DeSoto. If you aren't happy with how your child is learning, you can switch to a different learning model. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you are interested in changing the model, we've put a link on the Wink News website for you with all the information you need. I'm Kirsten Delgado, Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Monday morning. A very wet commute, meaning you need to watch that following distance this morning as the roadways are slick. There is slow traffic in Collier on Immokalee Road heading eastbound towards I-75 already, and a delay building on 951 heading south towards the East Trail. Now for my commuters in Estero, I'm seeing a delay start on Ben Hill heading southbound of Alico Road. Also delays on 3 Oaks Parkway heading north towards Alico. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we will see some occasional passing rain, and then by later on tonight, we start to dry out. Temperatures for today from the upper 60s to the mid 70s and eventually becoming breezy. It's going to be chilly, if not downright cold for your Tuesday morning. 40s and 50s with some wind adding on to the chill. Highs only in the mid 60s with a lot of sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. Very similar pattern for your Wednesday. Cold to start, cool by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine throughout the day until we try to flirt with 80 for the weekend with also a chance of rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. It's Christmas time, and there's magic in the air. I can't promise snow here in Southwest Florida, but when I look in my grandchildren's eyes, I still see the magic of Santa Claus coming to town. I see in my mom's eyes the love of all the Christmases past, and when my wife Holly and I steal a kiss under our mistletoe, I see her eyes in the magic of a life together with our wonderful family. From our family to your family, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and may God bless you and your entire family. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, keeping Christmas and Christ together.
Hey, small business owners, this is Drew Steele. Look, things have been rough this year, and we want to help. Enter the Bounce Forward Together sweepstakes presented by Comcast Business, and you can win $5,000 and a 4-week professionally produced ad schedule on 92.5 Fox News. Log on to bounceforwardtogether.com, answer a few quick questions, and you'll be entered to win. That's bounceforwardtogether.com to enter to win $5,000 for your small business. No purchase necessary. See official rules for details.
Professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. I've been repairing and replacing roofs for 27 years. We operate with integrity, knowledge, and service. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable,
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
fatigued,
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. Hey, a couple of things that are going on. A little inside Drew Steele baseball. If you are watching us stream live on YouTube, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, please subscribe to the channel. You'll notice that there is no camera. The camera's not up this morning, and I will be frank and honest with you. I won't be frank. I'll just be honest. Jake likes to be frank. I like to be honest. I don't know what the association with Frank and Jake is. Maybe because they rhyme. Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyway. So yesterday we decided that we were going to get a puppy. And we did. And so we got one yesterday. And somehow I drew the short straw for the family. And so I decided that I am the one that's going to be taking care of the puppy through the overnight hours. So in the next few days, you'll notice that I've probably aged about 15 years. And to be quite honest with you, because of the interesting evening that we've had as a new puppy owner last night, I don't dare turn the camera on because I can't be responsible for what you might see from me, from this room, from things all over the place. And if you hear puppy yelps, that's exactly what it is. So we got a beautiful puppy in the house. That's the good news. The bad news is it was quite a night. It's been over, goodness, it's been 14 years since I've had a puppy. And yeah, those memories come rushing back. You forget about the dutiful responsibilities you have as a pet owner and a puppy owner, and it's all about them. And yeah, there's no sleep. There's a lot of playing in the middle of the night. There's a lot of interesting things that go on, but all good. Life is good. How could you be upset about that? The puppy is beautiful, and maybe I should just. Maybe on the Facebook page and the YouTube page, Jake, maybe if I do this, maybe if instead of having just a static screen there, maybe if I just make the screen a picture of my dog, maybe Facebook won't put some silly messages underneath like the U.S. election has been determined and there is a president-elect and you need to get over it. And by the way, we're not yet. And there's news on that. The president had a rally in Georgia, and there's some Michigan news as well. What do you think, Jake? Maybe I should do that. That's a good idea. Instead of having a static picture of me, a glamour shot, maybe I need to have just a static picture of my dog, and then all of a sudden you'll have YouTube and Facebook. I might get more people watching the channel because they can see my dog. That's probably a good idea. That's actually a brilliant idea. I thought... I'm glad I thought of it. All right, so let's get into some of what we're going to be talking about this morning as we move forward. The interview, if you will, that I did with my aunt from a few years ago is something that many people have asked about today. Let's not forget December 7th today, a day that will live in infamy. We know, hopefully, what happened on December 7th, 1941. It's one of those days that will live in infamy and we will not forget. There are many days in the history of this country that we make sure with our family members that we do not forget. And today is one of them. And I am not going to be one of those people that just glances over it and it's like, there it is, and moving on. Because it is pivotal. And I will give you an interesting perspective this morning, because if you remember, it was a couple of years back that I was sitting at a Christmas table with family members and my aunt B, who is my mother's sister's husband's sister. Does that make sense? I hope that all makes sense. But anyway, and we're all sitting around the table and we started to talk about our most memorable or our best or our most memorable Christmas memory. The Christmas memory that we have that is the most memorable. And as we went around the table and we're talking to everybody at the table about that, we got to my Aunt B and she said, watching Pearl Harbor get bombed. I was like, excuse me? What? You were there? And it was one of those stories that we never heard before. Well, I didn't. And so I sat down and did an interview with her as an eyewitness to Pearl Harbor. How many people do you know have been an eyewitness to that day? Well, you're going to hear from her coming up in the interview I did a few years back, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. And what she had to say a few years back is so telling for where we are in this country today. And the things that so many people are concerned about, which is the future of our republic, the love of country. and how many people have and still continue to have to this day that love for this country, where they understand that elections have consequences, but legal elections or illegal elections have serious consequences and not good ones. And so when I see a bill being introduced this week, I want you to sit down for this. Are you ready? There's a bill that's being introduced by Representative Brian Babin of Texas, a new bill that he's proposing called the You Must Be Alive to Vote Act. I'm not kidding. To require states to obtain information from Social Security Administration on deaths for purposes of voter registration list maintenance and for other purposes. A bill that Congress would put together. The fact that we have to speaks volumes. The interesting part will be who will get on board with this and who won't. Sad to say, it's a necessary item that we must introduce in light of the fact that we still have a lot of problems with a lot of perception out there by half of America that we don't have an open and transparent election process. Now, to that point, he is right. And half the country is looking at it and saying, we don't have transparency and we're concerned. What's the other half think? I mean, are you okay with that? This seems like a slam dunk. This seems like something we shouldn't have to talk about, but we do. And it speaks volumes again to where we are in the country. When the president is out in Georgia over the weekend at this rally where I don't know how many of you had a chance to see it, to see the rally. Jake, did you see any of the rally? Have you checked out any pictures? If you haven't seen it, that's okay. But did you see any pictures or video? Nothing. Okay. Let me just put it this way. When it comes to a Trump rally, nothing's changed. When you see the amount of people that show up for these rallies, it's hard for any sane human being to look at these rallies and say, he lost. Nobody wants to believe it. Nobody. And there's a good reason, because he's still bringing people out to these rallies, because there's still people that are passionate about the president and the good things that he has done and where the country's going and the importance of making sure that, well, Democrats don't cheat, right? Isn't that what he said? It's
something to them. I don't want to use the word revenge, but it is a certain revenge. To the Democrats, you show up and vote in record numbers. That's what you have to do. They can only win if they cheat. They can't win this state unless they cheat. And they cheat better than anybody.
They do. Oh, man. They cheat better than anybody. And the only way you're going to win this state is to go out in such numbers in the state of Georgia, talking about the two Senate races there. They would come and be out in full force and voting in such numbers that there's no way that you can possibly try to turn this around or try to rig it or anything like that. Hundreds of thousands would have to be the difference. The talk of in Georgia of the Democrats that are running, and the president said,
Ossoff and Warnock will be total pawns of Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. I only see him cry when the cameras are on.
That's right. That Democrat Warnock is going to be a pawn of Chuck Schumer. We all know that's the case, right? I mean, does anybody doubt that at all? And remember, this is the same person who over the weekend was asked in a debate. He was asked about stacking the court. And this is not difficult. The majority of the American people don't want anything to do with stacking the court. The Democrat Party wants to do this because of the president being able to appoint Supreme Court justices. Warnock is running against Kelly Loeffler, who's repeatedly talked to him as a radical liberal, Raphael Warnock, and he is. And I'll explain in a second, but how about this? The moderator says, look, if Democrats do win control of the Senate, there's going to be pressure to increase the size of the U.S. Supreme Court. Would you support adding more justices to the Supreme Court to offset the president's recent appointments? Yes or no?
And as I move all across the state, Greg, people aren't asking me about the courts and whether we should expand the courts. I know that's an interesting question for people inside the Beltway to discuss, but they're wondering when in the world are they going to get some COVID-19 relief? They haven't gotten any from Kelly Loeffler in months. And when she had a chance to stand up for ordinary people.
I just got to stop. That's it. The answer is he will not definitively say that he will make sure that we do not stack the courts, that he would not want to be a part of that. Because he does. Because Democrats would. Because Democrats understand something. And I had a conversation this weekend about this. You think that's an outrageous statement, but it's not. Because Democrats are willing to do the radical things to get agendas pushed because they know that conservatives, I'm not going to say Republicans, but I will in this case, Republicans and conservatives won't. They will not do, a Republican, a conservative is not going to, for example, this weekend, a Trump rally in Washington, D.C. You know what? Constitutional loving, free people loving, God-fearing Americans are going to go to Washington, D.C., that respect the flag, respect the country, respect police, that understand our constitutional republic and are going to go to Washington, D.C. And what are they going to do, everybody? They're going to rally. They're going to be in support of each other and show the rest of the country that in unison, united, that they are concerned about this election. They're concerned about election integrity, and they do not want to follow a liberal agenda. And then they will clean up the park and they will go home. You know what Democrats do. They do the opposite. I know that's not fair, right? It's only like Antifa, liberals. It's not even liberals. No, that's not even fair either, Drew. You're not allowed to say that because they're not the ones that are looting and burning and destroying. It's the radicals. It's the far right. Yeah, whatever. You know what the facts are. The facts are that they were boarding up Philadelphia and they were boarding up major metropolitan cities, liberal cities around the country before the election out of fear that if Donald Trump did win, what? Because when we find out now that supposedly Donald Trump did not win, oh, all those cities are fine. Really? Okay. So you tell me what the truth is. The fact is that there are people that prey and take advantage of those that will not do what they're willing to do. They understand it. If you understand that somebody's not going to punch you in the face, for example, I'm not saying Republican, Democrat. I'm not saying politically. I'm saying figuratively, not literally. But if you know that somebody is absolutely positively not going to punch you in the face, not going to stop you from, not going to hold you back from doing something nefarious, then why not do it if you know there's no consequence? Why not make this election in Georgia the same that people have questions about when it comes to the election integrity across the country? Why not do it if you know nobody's going to punch you in the face, burn down your house, stop you from doing it, take you to court, or win in a court? That's the big one. Because Republicans will take you to court. Question is, when you have a liberal judge in front of you, what are they willing to do? But judges don't have any politics in mind, everybody. Just stop that. Stop the nonsense that a judge is impartial. Just stop that. Oh, don't be like that. It's like saying a school board member is totally nonpartisan. It's a nonpartisan race. They have no partisanship. They're just like, they don't even know what the difference is between Republicans and Democrats. It's a silly question. That's how right down the middle they are, said no one ever. Because it's not true. Well, they say it, but it's not the facts. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, when we come back, a little bit more audio from the president's visit to Georgia. Also, this is going to be something. Viewers of CNBC were treated to something very, very good, very unusual, and very important over the weekend, and it had to do with Rick Santelli. Yes, that Rick Santelli, Tea Party fame Rick Santelli. Rick Santelli, who has some issues with people locking down the country. We're going to get to that audio and more next. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh.
In a Washington Post op-ed, Bill Whalen of the Hoover estate market is tanking. Rents have dropped by almost 25%, and there are twice as many homes for sale today compared to a year ago. It's about to get worse, too. On Election Day, San Francisco voters approved a proposition known as the overpaid executive tax. It's a surcharge tax for companies who pay their top people over 100 times what the typical worker makes. This tax was tried in Portland, Oregon. It was a disaster. Corporations did not lower executive salaries. They cut loose workers at the lower end of the spectrum and replaced them with independent contractors. They always find a workaround. This week, San Francisco's authoritarian board of supervisors piled on another set of restrictions on top of the harsh COVID rules. If you live in an apartment, you cannot smoke any tobacco product anywhere in your home, period. However, smoking a doobie, a marijuana joint at home, well, that's fine. That's okay. People used to leave their heart in San Francisco. Today, you might lose your mind there. Your family might save more than $800 a year on your cell phone bill just by switching to Pure Talk from Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. You're not sacrificing coverage with the switch. Pure Talk has the same coverage, the same bars as one of the big carriers, but at half the amount. There's a lot you can do with an extra $800 a year. Get unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data every month for just $20 a month. 2 gigs of data, that's the average data usage amount for most cell phone users. And if you go over on your data usage, Pure Talk does not charge you for it. Grab your mobile phone, dial pound 250, and say Pure Talk. You'll save 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say the key word, Pure Talk. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text from Pure Talk.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
A refreshing swim in your pool is just what you need in times like these. But do you know if your pool water is safe and healthy for your family and pets? Just because your pool is blue doesn't mean it's healthy. A poorly maintained pool can cause irreversible damage to your pool and equipment. Healthy Pools of Southwest Florida is a fully licensed and insured full-service pool company. Their experienced pool experts do it all: cleaning, repairs, leak detection, and more. And they'll always keep your heaters and pumps working their best. Their experts complete a 20-point checklist at each visit to assure well-balanced water and well-functioning equipment. They care about your pool and your family. That's why so many pool owners trust them. Call today for a free estimate, 425-0300. They'll keep your pool safe for your family and your pets. They look forward to serving you. Call Healthy Pools today, 425-0300. That's 425-0300. Or online at healthypoolsswfl.com. Healthy Pools is a for God and country company.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who will be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
All right, you're going to put everything else aside for just a minute because I am worried about your home's water, to be quite honest, because I know what mine was like before I got my Pent Air water treatment system. You hear me talking about Pelican Water, right? Well, Pelican is now Pent Air Water Solutions, and you can call Max to get your free Pent Air Water test. He'll come over, and you're going to love the way your water tastes once you get that system in from every faucet with that new Pent Air water treatment system. The big difference with Pent Air water experts, they're Pent Air certified, uniformed water specialists using state-of-the-art Pent Air water tests, and with a mobile showroom, it's great. They pull up, and you can see everything right in front of you, the wide range of options, and now with Pent Air's new Wi-Fi salt sensor, you can check your salt levels anytime you'd like, right from your phone. How cool is that? So call now for your free Pent Air water test. It's really easy. You can take 15% off your whole home water system. Here's the number. Call today at 239-880-7799 or book online at pelicanwestfl.com.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000. That's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. State Attorney Amira Fox announced that the state has filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty against Nicholas Canfield. Now, back in October, Canfield was indicted on first-degree murder, sexual battery, and 3 counts of aggravated child abuse. Investigators say Canfield killed a child in April. A driver loses control of his car and slams into a tree. FHP tells us the 35-year-old driver died and his 42-year-old passenger has serious injuries. The crash happened in Collier County along Golden Gate Parkway and Airport Road North. Crash is under investigation. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida and 2 new deaths, one's in Collier County, the other in DeSoto. Today, Fort Myers City leaders will discuss hiring a new city manager. This comes after Saeed Kazemi submitted his retirement letter to Mayor Kevin Anderson last week. The mayor called on him to resign. Kazemi's retirement goes into effect May 3rd. Starting this week, 2 of the busiest roads in Fort Myers will connect. The Hanshin Street extension will connect Veronica Shoemaker to Ortiz Avenue. City leaders hope it'll alleviate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. MLK runs parallel to both Hanson and Colonial. If you're not happy with your child's learning model, you can switch it earlier. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you're interested in changing the models, we've put a link on the Wink News app for you with all the information you need. I'm Kirsten Delgado, Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
82 is packed heading towards Corkscrew west of State Road 29. Also, there is a crash at Shawnee Road in 82, off and on delays if you are heading towards Gunnery Road, and a crash at 8th Street in Terry. And this is causing a delay heading west of Sunshine Boulevard to Gunnery. So the best option right now really is Lee Boulevard, crash-free if you're heading to Gunnery Road. My commuters heading to the Daniels Extension were packed to Gateway Boulevard westbound. Also, a crash reported at 41 and College Parkway, slowing traffic heading east for a quarter mile. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we will see some occasional passing rain, and then by later on tonight, we start to dry out. Temperatures for today from the upper 60s to the mid 70s and eventually becoming breezy. It's going to be chilly, if not downright cold, for your Tuesday morning. 40s and 50s with some wind adding on to the chill. Highs only in the mid 60s with a lot of sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. Very similar pattern for your Wednesday. Cold to start, cool by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine throughout the day until we try to flirt with 80 for the weekend with also a chance of rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash. Do you want more for your child's education? Mason Classical Academy is a K-12 tuition-free school with a proven track record, earning A grades every year since its founding, and ranks in the top 2% of all Florida public schools. Mason Classical Academy's students learn objective truth, beauty, and to pursue the good in all things. They prepare their students for more than just passing a state test. The Mason Classical Academy classrooms promote patriotism, civics, moral character, a love of history, and the true story of Western civilization. Their challenging classical curriculum and traditional teaching methods show students how to think, not what to think. Mason Classical Academy is available to any student, regardless of income or zip code. If you want more for your child's education, Mason Classical Academy is the answer. Learn the true, do the good, love the beautiful. Enroll your child now for the tuition-free 2021-2022 school year by visiting masonacademy.com today.
When everything around us has been interrupted, including playtime, work time, and downtime, friends and family are always there to help pick up the pieces. At Castilla Roofing, we are here for our community, our employees, and you. Keeping a roof over your head is our job, our headache, and our promise to you. Castilla Roofing, family owned and operated. Your satisfaction is our reputation.
Go to CastillaRoofing.us, that's CASTILLA, or call 239-465-2646. License CCC 1328615.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube right now, you will notice that the camera is not on. The audio feed is there. The video feed is not. I did not hook the camera up today because we got a puppy last night and I'm in no condition to be seen. This house is the studio here, and the house is no condition to be seen. It's been an interesting evening of trying to puppy watch. I got puppy watch duty, so you can imagine I look like a heck in a handbasket, and the studio looks like, well, it's a combination of a lot of different things. So trying to get through this first day, and then hopefully as we get through the week, we'll get better. But if you want to see the puppy picture is there on YouTube. You can see the dog, and clearly he is part of the office of the president-elect, and that would be me. Because I've decided that I'm part of the office of the president-elect, because, why not? If Joe Biden could be president-elect, I could be, you could be, everybody could be, Jake could be. Jake might want to be. Instead of having a Jake Day, maybe we'll have an office of the president-elect moment. And we'll just have Jake do, important presidential moments that Jake would do. Like every Every water fountain in every school is going to have what?
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoos. If he's president of the United States, he will make sure that there's a yoo-hoo in every water dispenser. All right, whatever. What do they? Water fountain. Why did I say water dispenser? I don't know. All right, a couple of things I wanted to get to this morning. Yes, it is December 7th. We will not forget. We always do remember pivotal moments in our history, a day that will live in infamy, and there's a reason why. And if you remember last year and the year before, I had an interview with a family member who was actually there December 7th, Pearl Harbor. And it was an interesting way that we found out at the Christmas table, and we had no idea that she was going to tell us that one of the most memorable moments at Christmas time that she had was watching the bombing happen at Pearl Harbor. She witnessed it, she was there, and her incredible story will be coming up at 8 o'clock. So be ready for that. A lot of people ask me every year if we're going to play it, and it's been a running theme, and I'm going to continue to do this. So we'll have that coming up at 8. All right, some other things that are going on. The President of the United States in Georgia wants to make sure that everybody understands in Georgia over the weekend. Please, please, please do not forget, as the Trump team continues to battle, as there's some new news out there, the legal team began a forensic analysis of Dominion voting machines in Michigan after the judge on December 4th permitted the examination. That happened over the weekend. They have begun, so this will be interesting. The Epoch Times has it. Jenna Ellis told Fox News that the team's going to be able to go in, and they're going to be there for 8 hours to conduct that forensic examination. And in about 48 hours, they'll hopefully turn it around, and we'll hear. So the team will be able to conduct this audit. If you remember, it was Antrim County in Michigan that authorized the audit of 22 Dominion voting machines. Now, we're going to see. Oh, but yeah, that's right. It was the who was it? The one of the spokespeople for Antrim County said that that images are going to be taken from voting machines used during the November 3rd election, and we will see whether or not they'll be able to find anything there. Is there some there? We will see. It is the big one. I'd say this is the big one, to be able to see whether or not this is going to move forward in any way, shape, or form. But Georgia's still incredibly important. We know what's at stake. Anybody that would suggest that Georgians should not get out and vote for it, don't even. Need to get out in big numbers, in force. The president brought that up at the rally there over the weekend, and even was talking about, look, what's going to happen? What will these Democrats do?
Here's exactly how they will change America forever. The radical Democrats, if they get power, they will immediately abolish the Senate filibuster, allowing them to pass any bill they want and giving them free rein to ram through the most extreme left-wing agenda ever conceived, while at the same time destroying our military through a lack of funding.
You don't think that'll happen? You don't think that's true? You already have people on record saying that they are all about stacking the court, stacking the Supreme Court, being able to look again, when it comes to liberals, you know how they operate. They play long ball. Always remember that. It's the Republicans that play the short game. It's the Democrats that play long ball. It's the conservatives that are there and looking at the Constitution and the rule of law. And just like as the president's lawyers and the legal team are trying to push to be able to take this to courts and have the courts decide and see what's going on with some of the election fraud that if you just look for it, it's there right in front of your eyes. Even the suitcase issue that happened on Friday, was it, or Thursday leading into Friday, and there's discussions over the weekend of people are saying, oh, that's typical. That's, that's they put the ballots in the suitcases. That's how they move them around. They're not really suitcases. They're cases that are on wheels. So what's the big deal? The big deal is when you tell people to stop the count and everybody leaves, including people that can watch, and then you start a count up and you start pulling ballots out of these places and you continue the count, we have an issue. Unless you're a Democrat. because you know your guy's going to win because of it. Oh, that's not really nice to say, is it? Okay. So the president's concerned about that.
And by the way, tell our senators, end Section 230. End Section 230.
Now, the president brought that up, and we talked about it last week, and the concerns about how with 230, at least there's something in there that you can change. You can change the verbiage in 230 to make it work the right way. If you get rid of it completely, then you're pretty much saying to places like Facebook and Twitter, hey, you've got full reign over what you feel is objectionable and that you need to be concerned about when it comes to getting sued. And that means you can yank down any content that you want. You can take it down. You don't have to give the president, per se, or even your tweets, little messages at the bottom saying, here are the facts. And here, no. They just won't allow you to do it at all. Period. End discussion. They will make sure that they censor every single thing. But again, confiscating guns, packing the Supreme Court, a lot of what the president was talking about over the weekend. And here's the other thing we also have to remember. And this came from last week, and I didn't get a chance to play it on Friday's show. But again, it's another piece that's very telling before we go to break. And it's this: that the media is not on your side. The media, if you are somebody who supports the Constitution, the rule of law, and supports this president, is not on your side. Because if the media were on your side, they would be all about making sure that if there are questions about the Dominion voting system, if there are questions about tens of thousands of votes that came in from dead people, where there's a congressman that's putting a bill forward that's literally called You Must Be Alive to Vote Act. Why would you have to do that? That seems like the most ridiculous thing, but of course you have to, because it's the only way you can get people who may have nefarious ideas up their sleeves, things that they might want to do during an election, to force them to do it by law if they get caught, unless they want to keep things status quo because it works in their favor. But again, the media has an opportunity to do some journalism and digging, and all they decided to do was virtue signal and to call out the president for what they believe are lies without being able to back up what they're talking about. What am I talking about? Listen to this. So the president was asked on Friday about whether or not, and how his concerns with the legality of this election and the legal process that the team is putting forward. And I want you to listen to Dana Bash after the president speaks to the media when they called out questions. Listen to this.
All over the country, they know it was a fixed election. It was a rigged election.
All over the country, people are saying they know it's fixed. They know it's rigged. They see what's happening. You saw the rally in Georgia. That's not a person that's lost an election. There's no way.
They know it, and I appreciate their support. Thank you all very much.
Okay, right? So there are people across the country who believe it was a fraud. It was a rigged election. That's true. That's absolutely true. There are plenty of people that do.
And I appreciate their support. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Attention on deck.
President Trump in the Oval Office, almost every single thing you just heard from the President of the United States is a lie.
What? Wait a minute. So you're CNN, you do journalism, you do news, you report just the facts, right? And when the president says that, you come back from that moment in the Oval Office with reporters and you say what?
President Trump in the Oval Office, almost every single thing you just heard from the President of the United States is a lie.
You don't get to do that. As a media outlet, that's not your job. You don't get to say that unless you do, because it's accepted. Because it's expected, and nobody pushes back on your side. That's what we're fighting against, everybody. And even dare I say, if the president is not able to prove the election fraud, to do anything about overturning what we're told is a Joe Biden win, that the media doesn't decide, if the Georgia race somehow is lost to Democrats, those two races, we still have to remember that we have a media that is not going to ever let this stop. They will just make the next person in line and the next Republican and the next conservative the bad guy. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch it. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on I-75 this morning at mile marker 128 is not causing a major backup right now, but flashing lights on scene. So this is heading south of Alico. Also a crash in Lehigh Acres at Milwaukee and Bell with reports of injury as well as roadblock delays at the intersection. The crash at Shawnee Road in 82 causing a slight slowdown on 82 west to Gunnery Road. Now in Fort Myers at US 41 in College, this crash is causing traffic to slow down heading east of Summerlin Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some off and on passing rain in the forecast for today as we eventually will start to dry out late in the day. High temperature of 71 and becoming breezy. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
The deadline to get or switch health coverage for 2021 is quickly approaching. December 15th is the last day to enroll. Otherwise, you may have to wait a whole year to enroll in a health plan. These days, healthcare has become top of mind for many of us. COVID impacting so many lives. Now it's more important than ever to have the right health coverage. So be sure to check out the new My Blue plans from Florida Blue. They have plans starting as low as $0 monthly payment with doctor visits also as low as $0. You can get 24/7 virtual visits for nothing for $0. Plus, you can earn up to $5,000 in rewards. What's better than that? But you need to hurry. Time is running out. Enrollment ends December 15th. Florida Blue's expert agents are ready to help you. Call 800-530-5182 or visit floridablue.com/we-get-you today.
To be eligible for $0 monthly cost, your marketplace monthly advantage premium tax credit must be equal to or be more than the premium. These policies have limitations and exclusions. Health insurance is offered by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc., DBA Florida Blue. HMO coverage is offered by Health Options, Inc., DBA Florida Blue HMO. Rewards available for individual ACA members 18 years or older. Reward amounts will apply to premium and excess amounts may be redeemed subject to rewards program terms and conditions. 103999.
Hundreds of happy customers all across Southwest Florida have already gotten the full original base MSRP for their trade-in. It's not too late for you to do the same, but only if you come see us here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still bring us that 5, 6, 7-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you the same price that you paid for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yeah, so whatever it was worth back in 2014, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought it from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road so you can drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Mel's Diner makes your holiday meals easy.
We're bringing back good times and great food. Mel's Diner.
This holiday season, Mel's Diner puts everyone in the spirit with Mel's Holiday Family Meals to Go. Serving up to 6 with entrees like Mel's famous slow-roasted turkey, hand-carved just for you, or baked all-natural Virginia ham. Dinners include your choice of homemade stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy, or mashed sweet potatoes and green beans and corn. And as a bonus, a whole pumpkin pie for just $79.99. You can't prepare it for less. And with this delicious deal, you don't have to cook. Reserve yours today. Mel's Diner gift cards are available now with a 20% bonus. It's a bell-ringing deal. For example, buy a $25 gift card and get 30. It's the gift everyone will enjoy. Make it home for the holidays with Holiday Family Meals to Go from Mel's Diner.
Mel's Diner.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. Right now, it's just a static picture of my new puppy And the reason why is because when I got up this morning, it was like, I'm in no condition right now, and this room is no condition. And I'm still in no condition, but people are like, it's okay. You're sharing your life, so you might as well share the way you look and how awful you look. Thanks. Appreciate that. I might. Rudy Giuliani treated in a hospital right now for the coronavirus. And so I guess he's doing well. He does have COVID. And so we certainly are thinking and praying for Rudy Giuliani and a speedy recovery. And you can only imagine how exhausted the legal team must be through all of this and everything that has been thrown their way, with even the news over the weekend that the president's legal team has begun a forensic analysis of the Dominion voting machines. Good. Little by little getting there, how important that is going to be. If you're wondering what the future looks like and how excited the rest of the world is to have a possible Joe Biden presidency, here's London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who said this. You ready? Listen.
Have post-Brexit, but how damaging would a no-deal Brexit be for the City of London? And good morning.
Yeah, they're talking about the Brexit and a no-deal Brexit and what possibly could be happening. Now, listen.
Good morning. It's great to join you again. Look, we as a country, 80% of our economy is in the professional services. We're world leaders in finance, in law, in tech, in creative industries. And unfortunately, the current deal being negotiated by the government fails to address the concerns these industries have in relation to continuing to do business with our biggest trading partner, the European Union. As it is, it appears even the flimsy deal the government's negotiating may not get over the line. So we are very concerned about the possibility...
Hold on a second, Jake. Hold on there. Hold on.
...of a no-deal Brexit. That means not having a deal with our biggest trading partner or a deal that doesn't reflect our economy.
Here comes.
The irony, of course, is the USA now has a president who's putting the USA back on the world stage.
Oh, there you go. And so when it comes to Brexit and some of the deals and some of the things that the rest of the world has been lavishing themselves with until Trump came along and said, whoa, not this, we're not having status quo. Sorry, not just in this country, but around the globe, peace deals and everything going on. The London mayor saying, oh, there's a president now who's going to put the USA back on the world stage. No, we've been on the world stage. You just didn't like what we were doing. Now you think that Joe Biden's going to be a great person to have back on the world stage. Can you answer why? You know the answer.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island with 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
I just had my checkup, and my doctor could tell I've been eating healthier.
but sometimes I have a hard time covering the cost of food. Luckily, my Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan offers me a healthy foods card to help me pay for food at certain stores. If you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may get $25 to spend on approved groceries. You just swipe it like a credit card. My Humana Medicare plan also covers a lot more, such as medications, dental, eyeglasses, doctor visits, and hospital stays. Do what I did. Talk to Humana.
Talk to a Humana licensed sales agent now by calling toll-free 1-844-706-0557. Humana is a coordinated care plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Florida Medicaid program. Enrollment in this Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Sponsored by Humana Medical Plan, Inc. and the State of Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. Plans may not be available in all areas. Benefits may vary by plan. Call to learn what plans are available in your area.
92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida and 2 new deaths, one's in Collier County, the other in DeSoto. Today, Fort Myers City leaders will discuss hiring a new city manager. This comes after Saeed Kazemi submitted his retirement letter to Mayor Kevin Anderson last week. The mayor called on him to resign. Kazemi's retirement goes into effect May 3rd. Starting this week, 2 of the busiest roads in Fort Myers will connect. The Hanshin Street extension will connect Veronica Shoemaker to Ortiz Avenue. City leaders hope it'll alleviate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. MLK runs parallel to both Hanson and Colonial. If you're not happy with your child's learning model, you can switch it earlier. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you're interested in changing the models, we've put a link on the Wink News app for you with all the information you need. I'm Kirsten Delgado, Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on I-75 this morning at mile marker 128 is not causing a major backup right now, but flashing lights on scene. So this is heading south of Alico. Also a crash in Lehigh Acres at Milwaukee and Bell with reports of injury as well as roadblock delays at the intersection. The crash at Shawnee Road in 82 causing a slight slowdown on 82 west to Gunnery Road. Now in Fort Myers at US 41 and College, this crash is causing traffic to slow down heading east of Summerlin Road. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we will see some occasional passing rain, and then by later on tonight, we start to dry out. Temperatures for today from the upper 60s to the mid 70s and eventually becoming breezy. It's going to be chilly, if not downright cold for your Tuesday morning. 40s and 50s with some wind adding on to the chill. Highs only in the mid 60s with a lot of sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. Very similar pattern for your Wednesday. Cold to start, cool by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine throughout the day until we try to flirt with 80 for the weekend with also a chance of rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. There are some huge advancements in cataract surgery you need to know about, where they don't just remove the cataracts, but they bring patients better vision. Now, it's Dr. France and his team at France Eye Care that brought you the light adjustable lens that helps you enhance the results of cataract surgery after the surgery. But now they're introducing the Vivity lens, which helps patients achieve an extended depth of focus, better night vision, and clearer distance vision. Dr. France is the first surgeon in Southwest Florida to bring you this revolutionary technology of Vivity. So give them a call today. France Eye Care. Dial from your cell star 2020. That's star 2020, or give them a ring at 239-418-0999. Dr. France takes care of me and my family's eyes. Let him take care of yours.
Friends, I care.
Duncan's Diamonds invites you to our greatest Christmas sale ever. With Christmas just around the corner, everything in the entire store is specially priced right now with tremendous savings. Christmas will be here before you know it, so now's the time to buy everything from diamonds to the most fashionable jewelry at unbeatable prices. We guarantee you will be amazed and find great gifts for everyone on your list. This Christmas sale at Duncan's Diamonds is the largest ever. Now's the time to save. Come see us. You can enjoy Duncan's Diamonds layaway or save with fantastic holiday financing plans. People come from all over because we will not be undersold by anyone, anywhere. It's definitely worth the drive to Duncan's Diamonds. Save during this huge Christmas sale. Duncan's Diamonds for the best prices on diamonds and fine jewelry. We work very hard to make you happy because we believe in love. Come see us.
Duncan's Diamonds, US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. How are you? He's Jake the Millennial. He's back at the studios. If you're watching on YouTube, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You see Facebook, you see YouTube. I'm probably not getting any disclaimers about the United States election or anything this time because instead of running the camera today, and I will do it tomorrow, it's just we got a puppy yesterday. Not over the weekend, yesterday night. And so I drew the short straw, and I was watching the puppy overnight. And so if you want to see the puppy, the picture of the puppy is up on YouTube. It's there. It's a static photo of, I just figure it was better than, he's a cute puppy. And so it's better than my face static. And I didn't turn the camera on today because I'm just not ready for that. Tomorrow, maybe I will. I know people are saying it's okay. You let us in your world anyway. You might as well let us in what you look. No, I can't. You can't see what I look like right now, or the house yet. But we'll get there. It'll just a couple of more hours, and we'll get things. I got to be honest. It could be days, weeks, months. I don't know. But it's the puppy thing. So we got the puppy, and he's awesome. But I'm not so much. Well, I mean, it's a puppy. You know how that works. All right. So I wanted to talk about this coming up quickly. A couple of things that are going on. Drew's College at 7:50. So that's on the way. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Yes, we'll be doing that. Yes, at 8 o'clock, we will have the story that everybody asks that I do each and every December 7th. We do not forget this date. And neither does my Aunt B, who at the Christmas table a few years ago let us know that her most memorable Christmas was watching the attack on Pearl Harbor. We didn't know she was there, but it is quite the story. And if you want to hear an eyewitness account of that day, stay tuned at 8 o'clock. We will be doing that. It's unbelievable. And we will talk now more about, 10,000 for the troops. Yes, sorry about that. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers 33902. Thank you to everyone who has been sending Christmas cards to our men and women serving overseas. A little bit of interesting news came up over the weekend. It turns out that because of the vid, that Lee Health and Kim Gade there at Lee Health, it's taking longer for them to do the count than usual because they're not all in one place. They have to be separated, and so do the cards, and so they have to go to different locations. So it's taking a little bit longer for the count. So more cards came in over the weekend, so we were able to add to the count. So I guess by Wednesday, we'll look at our final count. We don't have it yet because they are still counting, but there's still time to get those shipped out, and that's what the most important thing is. And your support has been incredible through this whole thing. And please understand and that thank yous to you all, and that the process has taken a little longer. But you all have been amazing. So we'll have that count on Wednesday. So we're looking forward to that. Here's a little bit of something if you were watching CNBC and it was, what was it, on Friday? This is something to behold. If you are trying to figure out the biggest problem that we have in this country and around the world as far as the vid and as far as the news and as far as what we know and what we don't know and why there are so many people that would say things like, we've got to lock down, we have to fill in the blank. There's only one way to do this, and you fill in the blank. And the experts say, and fill in the blank. And then there are people that are like, well, hold on a second. I see some newsworthy items from experts. As a matter of fact, I see some Johns Hopkins University material that's being taken down from certain sites, including their own, and then disclaimers come out days later because they dare say that they're concerned about, let's say, deaths and how there hasn't been this large spike of deaths throughout the year this year due to COVID. It seems to be on the same trajectory as far as the numbers of deaths in the country as we had last year. Well, wait, there's something wrong there, but we're not allowed to talk about that science. We're not allowed to talk about any of the science that would show that masking does not work, that these mask mandates do not work. There's plenty of evidence, but we're not allowed to talk about that because it's heresy, because you're not allowed to do that. And this has been the argument of so many when it comes to COVID is, listen, we want all of it. We want to know what the science and the data says and why we would continue to talk about lockdowns and continue to talk about people that are not going to be able to travel soon unless they have a vaccine for a virus that is 99.8%. The death rate is like 0.008 at this point. That it's not worthy of cards that we're going to have for vaccinations in order to travel, but yet the powerful in places like Canada are suggesting that. I read an article over the weekend about how in Canada they're talking about, listen, if you don't get the vaccine and you don't get a card to show us that you have the vaccine, guess what? There's a lot of things you're not going to be able to do. A lot of things. Well, if the survival rate is 99.8% of this virus, then what are we doing? We want to ask questions. And so does Rick Santelli. Rick Santelli of Tea Party fame, if you remember Rick Santelli and his famous Tea Party rant, that sparked the movement in 2009. His latest rant shouldn't surprise you, but it does speak volumes to some of the virtue signaling, some of the questions that people have. We know what COVID is right now and is not. We know what the numbers are in the state and what they are not. We know that there are some people that keep wanting to talk about COVID as if the deaths are going through the roof, and they're not. Hospitalizations, we don't have. Yes, we do. We have plenty of room. And the suggestion that we could possibly be, beds could be filled by March or not. There is that side, but we're not allowed to do it. It's heresy. So here you go. It was a debate between Andrew Ross Sorkin, who's the co-host of CNBC's pre-market show Squawk Box, and Rick Santelli. He reports from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And I want you to listen to this exchange because there's Rick Santelli saying what a lot of people are thinking, which is, hold on a second. Lockdowns, what's going on with people's, with the economy, with jobs in people's personal lives, and you talk about depression, and you talk about suicide, and you talk about desperation for a virus that has a 99.8% survival rate. What are we doing? And Rick Santelli says,
can't tell me that shutting down, which is the easiest answer, is necessarily the only answer.
And that's part of what he said to open up this conversation, where he's like, look, the only answer is not to shut it down. There are other things that we can do. Remember 15 days to spread to stop the spread. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 190 days to stop the spread. Actually, we just continue to do this because we're going to stop this thing. What are we going to you really? Okay. I digress. So here comes the debate about lockdowns and what we're doing.
Rick, I just as a public health and public service announcement for the audience, the difference between a big box retailer.
Who is this?
Hold on. The difference between it's Andrew.
Who else?
The difference between a big box retailer. Hold on. The difference between a big box retailer and a restaurant, or frankly even a church, are so different. It's unbelievable.
Now, before I give you Rick Santelli's response to that, there's the first part of this. We're supposed to believe that it's a fact. You can't dispute it. You're not allowed to say anything. I have to have a disclaimer after this guy says this. I mean, my audience is outraged. There may be people that go out and I don't know what you think they're going to do. So there has to be a disclaimer because that's what liberals do. I got to censor you. I got to put a little message underneath what the president says that says, hey, can we tell you the facts? Can we tell you the truth? You know, the president lies all the time. Here are the truth. That's what liberals do. So there you go. You got the virtue signaling happening where it's like, you know, we know what's best and these people don't know. And we want to save lives. And you're not going to do that by going to big box stores. Who, by the way, as Nicholas Gaster talked about in The American Thinker, they've done pretty well when you talk about what's going on with the virus, these big box stores, that somehow a big box store is safer than a restaurant or a church. Do we have evidence of that? Or are we just supposed to believe the liberals when they say it because, well, they're liberals?
I disagree. I disagree.
You're wearing
You can have your thoughts and I can have mine.
You're required to wear a mask.
I disagree.
It's science. I'm sorry. It's science. If you're
It's
wearing a
not
mask,
science.
it's a different story.
500 people at a Lowe's aren't any safer than 150 people in a restaurant that holds 600. I don't believe it.
What do you think about that? Rick Santelli's like, well, hold on a second. 500 people in a Lowe's, you're telling me they're safer than 150 people in a restaurant that holds 600 people? You know, the questions that many people have had for the longest time of, well, hold on. So when I walk into a restaurant, I can take off my mask to eat, and magically the virus is like, oh, dude, I'm in a restaurant. This guy's eating. Let's not bother these people. And then once they get outside, okay, now we can go get him. Like the virus has some kind of brain and understands that when you're in a restaurant and the mask's off, that somehow we can't bother this person because they're eating, or because there's a certain amount of separation, or because there's, and we can go on and on and on. But Rick Santelli's right. You can't. This whole idea of contact tracing, like we're going to be able to prove, you know, the reason why Rudy Giuliani has COVID right now is because clearly he was sitting next to somebody who was. You don't know. You don't know if he got it going to Publix. You don't know if he got it talking to the neighbor. You don't know how anybody got it. And if you say, well, what are you talking about? You know people in this community. And I promise you, you do. Well-known people in this community who have made it a point to say, I social distanced, I masked, I did every precaution that the CDC told me to do. I did more than that. I literally was in my house. The minute I walked out, something happened. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I got it. How does that happen? Because you can't definitively say where the virus came from if you got coronavirus. You just can't do it. But the left would have you believe that, listen, you can't be in a restaurant. You can't be in a bar. You can't be in a church. There's no way that you can keep people safe. There's absolutely no way. The only way to do it is to just not go. Unless you're a politician, then you can go all day long. And in a Lowe's, listen, they're so huge that what?
Sorry. Don't believe it. And I live in an area where there's a lot of restaurants that have fought back and they don't have any problems. And they're open.
Okay. You don't have to believe it. But let me just say this. You're doing a disservice to the viewer because the viewers need to understand it.
You are doing a disservice to the viewer. You are. You are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would like to keep our viewers as healthy as humanly possible. The idea of packing people into restaurants.
I think our viewers are smart enough to make part of those decisions on their own.
Completely different
I don't
things.
think that I'm much smarter than all the viewers like some people do.
Thank you, Rick Santelli. Thank you for that Tea Party 2009 moment. Thank you so much. The idea that liberals are going to keep you safe, that you are so dumb, so stupid, so idiotic, so ignorant, that there's no way, shape, or form that you in life could possibly have your own life. Like there's no way. Without us, you would be dead, according to liberals. In everything, forget about COVID. It could be anything in life. If we don't tell you what to do and how to do it, you can't survive. And there's Rick Santelli saying, no, we're not doing a disservice. Here's the disservice: is to think that viewers are not smart enough to make part of their decisions their own. That he believes, like you and I do, that we can make our own decisions. We know what the virus is and is not. We know who's vulnerable and who isn't. We can make our own decisions, and we don't have to live in fear. We have the information in front of us. And the sad thing is that there are those that are out there that are not willing to let us make decisions, get all the information on both sides, to have every bit of it. But all they want is what they tell you. And that's all you get, because the liberals know better than you do. And remember, it was Santelli's rant that sparked the Tea Party movement. Good for him. Remember that in 2009, we're on the floor of the Chicago Mercantile.
And in terms of modifications, I'll tell you what, I have an idea. You know, the new administration's big on computers and technology. How about this, President and administration? Why don't you put up a website to have people vote on the internet as a referendum to see if we really want to subsidize the losers' mortgages, or would we like to at least buy cars and buy houses in foreclosure and give them to people that might have a chance to actually prosper down the road, and reward people that could carry the water instead of drink the water.
Hey, Rick,
it's a novel idea.
Hey, Rick, did you?
What? Who thought of that?
Yeah, they're like putty in your hands. Did you hear?
No, they're not, Joe. They're not like putty in our hands. This is America. How many of you people want to pay for your neighbor's mortgage that has an extra bathroom and can't pay their bills? Raise their hand. How about we all? President Obama, are you listening?
Yeah. That was the famous moment there in 2009 when Rick Santelli is like, we're Americans. Hold on. We can make our own decisions. And not only that, we're not going to pay for somebody else's mistakes, which is, by the way, which is exactly what's going on with the holding back of money, stimulus money from Nancy Pelosi, who admitted over the weekend, we have that audio as well, saying, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I wasn't going to give this president a victory, who was more than willing to hold that money back. And the reason why they want to hold that back is because they were waiting for a more friendly administration to come along in situation so that they could give your money to blue states that have absolutely decimated their economies and put themselves in such debt that they could never get out of it. And now, thanks to you, they're going to be able to dig out, or thanks to COVID, they're going to be able to dig out. Unfair, not right. And it's the kind of thing that Rick Santelli talked about in 2009. And it's the frustration that many of us have today. All right. Speaking of frustration, we don't have any with this. Let's move on. 239-479-5592. Time to call right now if you would like to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And call right now. Caller number 5. We'll play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash on 75 southbound is still causing a delay heading south of Terminal Access Road to Alico. So if you're heading south of Daniels, the best thing you can do, stick to tree line. Also, a crash at Columbus Boulevard and 82, slowing traffic northbound on Columbus, and the crash at Milwaukee and Bell Boulevard, causing a delay only at the intersection. If you are in Fort Myers, a crash at 41 in College, eastbound slowdowns on College to 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some off and on passing rain in the forecast for today as we eventually will start to dry out late in the day. High temperature of 71 and becoming breezy. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
At Conditioned Air, we aren't trying to fix or sell all things under the sun. We're very focused on one thing, your comfort in your home and office. We've had this focus for over 58 years now. Our team is nearly 400 strong, and each team member's desire is for your total satisfaction with our services. Southwest Florida weather can take a toll on your air conditioner, so when you need us, we're here to take care of the issue quickly and safely so you can get on with your day. Conditioned Air offers planned maintenance programs, emergency service, replacement systems, and indoor air quality products to keep you comfortable all year long. You can count on the people of Conditioned Air. We don't push unnecessary parts and equipment on you, which means no high pressure and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Since your comfort is essential, call Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962, serving all of Southwest Florida. Call 1-888-COLD-AIR or log on to conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all three questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
License number CCC 1331928.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow. We at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Rhonda. Rhonda's in Bonita. Beautiful Bonita. So beautiful they named it twice. Hey, Rhonda. Hello. Oh, no, Rhonda's gone. All right, well, let's go to Earl. Is Earl still there in Tampa?
Yes, Drew. Good morning.
Well, good
I haven't
morning.
talked to you in a long time.
Well, glad to have you back. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. The associate's degree question for you starts right now, Earl. Hey, Earl, you remember Ron DeSantis winning the governorship here of the great state of Florida. Do you remember who he beat?
Gillum?
That is correct, Andrew Gillum. All right, you got an associate's. Let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. How often are American presidential elections held?
Every 4 years.
All right. Well, it's a question. It's a question. All right, so you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 2000, Al Gore selected this gentleman to be his running mate. Who was Al Gore's running mate in 2000? He was a senator. Kind of a middle-of-the-road guy, we're told.
Don't remember, Drew.
First name is Joe?
Lieberman?
Yeah, that's correct. All right. Boy, I gave you a lot of clues.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. As long as I didn't say anything like rhymes with Schlieberman. Yeah. All right. So you got a master's. Let's see if you get a PhD on this very question. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among those are...
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
That is correct. Just wanted you to fill it all in. Well, you got it. Congratulations, Earl. Welcome back, and welcome to your PhD. We appreciate you playing. And how's everything going there in the Tampa area?
It's good. I came to Florida for the senior games because you're the only state that has them open to even come and compete in tennis. And I came down, and that's why I'm here.
All right.
Florida, DeSantis has opened stuff up.
You betcha. Well, good for you. Well, listen, Earl, I appreciate you playing. Thank you so much. Call anytime. We play Drew's College each and every day at 7:50. All right, coming up, you're going to hear from a first-hand account, my aunt, December 7th, 1941. Somebody at my Christmas table a few years ago was there. Wait till you hear her story. Coming up next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know what I'm talking about. People are working from home. The kids are home alone. Maybe you're schooling from home. There's a lot of situations where losing your electricity not only creates problems, man, it compounds them, right? People are anxious. Some feel powerless, but you do have control of your power. Look, your home is your sanctuary, so secure your home and get the peace of mind you deserve with a Generac automatic standby generator from the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. That's Generator Supercenter. They've got turnkey solutions and easy financing options. Call today for a free estimate. 239-887-6090. That's 887-6090.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida and 2 new deaths, one's in Collier County, the other in DeSoto. Today, Fort Myers City leaders will discuss hiring a new city manager. This comes after Saeed Kazemi submitted his retirement letter to Mayor Kevin Anderson last week. The mayor called on him to resign. Kazemi's retirement goes into effect May 3rd. Starting this week, 2 of the busiest roads in Fort Myers will connect. The Hanshin Street extension will connect Veronica Shoemaker to Ortiz Avenue. City leaders hope it'll alleviate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. MLK runs parallel to both Hanson and Colonial. If you're not happy with your child's learning model, you can switch it earlier. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you're interested in changing the models, we've put a link on the Wink News app for you with all the information you need. I'm Kirsten Delgado, Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on 75 southbound is still causing a delay heading south of Terminal Access Road to Alico. So if you're heading south of Daniels, the best thing you can do, stick to tree line. Also, a crash at Columbus Boulevard and 82, slowing traffic northbound on Columbus, and the crash at Milwaukee and Bell Boulevard, causing a delay only at the intersection. If you are in Fort Myers, a crash at 41 in College, eastbound slowdowns on College to 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we will see some occasional passing rain, and then by later on tonight, we start to dry out. Temperatures for today from the upper 60s to the mid 70s and eventually becoming breezy. It's going to be chilly, if not downright cold for your Tuesday morning. 40s and 50s with some wind adding on to the chill. Highs only in the mid 60s with a lot of sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. Very similar pattern for your Wednesday. Cold to start, cool by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine throughout the day until we try to flirt with 80 for the weekend with also a chance of rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News. Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? Well, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday. Oh, the dolls feel like the same doll these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no. No.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
Hundreds of happy customers all across Southwest Florida have already gotten the full original base MSRP for their trade-in. It's not too late for you to do the same, but only if you come see us here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still bring us that 5, 6, 7-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you the same price that you paid for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yeah, so whatever it was worth back in 2014, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought it from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model, then come see us on Pine Ridge Road so you can drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. It is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. You may notice if you're there right now, it's a static picture of my new puppy. There's a reason why you're seeing a picture of my new puppy right now and not a picture of me. Just because I couldn't turn the camera on this morning because we got the puppy last night and I had to do puppy duty last night. And as you can well imagine, I'm in no condition to be seen by anybody at this moment or this room because it was puppy proof, but it doesn't mean it wasn't puppy destroyed. So I just have to kind of get that all together, and I will do that tomorrow. So cameras will be on. So there you go. And maybe you'll even get a glimpse of the puppy at the house. And he is one handsome dude. And you can see right now if you'd like to see. He's been great. So having said that, coming up, of course, the top 5 audio clips, the 5 at 8:35, and so much more. Also, people have been wondering the count for 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877 Fort Myers 33902. And word was over the weekend that because of the vid and because Kim Gade and Lee Health and they were all separated there trying to get the count going, that it's taken longer to do the count than they thought. They're going to be able to get the cards out on time, which is the good news. And it means the bad news is not really bad news, but it just means that the count that we thought was going to be today looks like it'll be on Wednesday. So it's going to take a little longer, but I think that might be a testament as well to the amount of cards that have come in this year. And we already know we're over 20,000 plus. So with your help, who knows? It'll be maybe it'll be 50,000 for the troops this year, 40,000 for the troops. That would be nice. So we'll have a count on Wednesday. And thank you, Southwest Florida, for all that you are doing to remember the men and women serving overseas. And with that, I give you December 7th, 1941, the 79th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and how we do not forget this day, a date which will live in infamy. And it was a few years ago that I was sitting with my family having Christmas dinner. And at Christmas dinner, my aunt decided to ask everybody their most memorable Christmas. What was it? And we started to talk about family and different events. And then my Aunt B, who was sitting at the table, decided to give her and speak to her most memorable moment, memorable Christmas. And I had to do this interview after we talked at the table. I said, you've got to give me an interview here to tell this story, because when we said your most memorable Christmas, she said,
well, it was different. I mean, the Japanese had just bombed Pearl Harbor. And like we were right there.
Now, can I stop for a second? And everybody's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And then you went on to tell us about that day. Talk about that day, December 7th, and everything that you remember, your memory. Talk about that moment in time.
Okay, well, first of all, my dad was in the Air Force, and he was stationed at Hickam Field, which is right next to Pearl Harbor.
Right.
There was just like a chain link fence between the two. So we were very close. I mean, really close. Anyway, he was a master sergeant in the Air Force. And December the 7th, it was a Sunday, so he got up really early to go fishing in the harbor in Pearl Harbor.
Right.
And he had this little fishing boat. I think it had a 25 horsepower motor.
Right.
And he's out there in the harbor fishing. And the sun's just coming up, and he sees this formation of airplanes. He's telling the story to us.
Right, sure.
You know? And he thought, gee, the Navy's up early this morning practicing. Well, pretty soon they started peeling off and started machine gunning right over him. And so he, of course, got the motor going fast and got to the shore and got in his car. And of course, we were in the housing on the base.
Mm-hmm.
We lived on the base. And our house was like one block from the fence that separated Pearl Harbor from Hickam Field. And he got in the car, came home, and ran in the house and told my mother to get a box and put in some food and some clothes for the kids. And I want you to get up to the mountains. Well, just before he came, my mother had gone and looked out the bedroom window, and she saw a torpedo coming down on one of the ships in Pearl Harbor. And she thought, oh my gosh, it's a war. We're at war. And then she came to get us kids, and my little brother was outside. He had gone outside, I think he was 5 years old, looking up in the sky at the airplanes, and the airplanes are shooting, machine gunning. And so she ran out and got him in the house, and then my dad came home, and she got the clothes and some food and threw it in the car. And then my dad told her that we needed to go to the mountains and to the house where our maid lived. We had a maid that worked for us once in a while, and a Portuguese family.
Mm-hmm.
And he then slapped a gun in her hand and said, and you use this if you have to. I still remember this. And so anyway, she took off. He said, I've got to go back to the hangars, because he was in charge of one of the hangars. He did maintenance on airplanes.
Okay.
And he was in charge of men to get the airplanes up to fight the Japanese. And so the closest he came to being killed that morning, he had gone to his hangar, and there was one airplane that they hadn't gotten out of the hangar yet. They still had to put wheels on it or something. And he had 7 men working on it to get it up and out of the hangar. And he turned around and went into his office, and just then a bomb hit the middle of the hangar and killed all those men.
Oh.
And he was thrown under some lockers. So thank God that was as close as he came to being killed that morning. But then as we left our house to turn the corner to go out the gate of Hickam Field, we looked back and we could see the airstrip where the planes should be taking off, but they weren't. They were all on fire because the Japanese had strafed them and bombed them, and it was just fire all the way down the runway. So anyway, we left and got up in the mountains and found the house where our maid lived. And it was a very small house. It was 4 rooms, as I remember.
Just 4 rooms.
Just 4 rooms. And the family gave us the dining room and a mattress to go underneath the dining room table. And that's where we slept for 2 weeks.
Wow. Now, could you see the airstrip and the airfield? Could you see from the house? Were you watching? Now, once you get to the house, do you turn around? Do you watch?
In the mountains?
Yes.
Oh, no, we're far away.
So you're far away. So
from
you're far
Hickam Field,
right.
Yeah. We traveled quite a while to get up there. But we had to stay there for the 2 weeks because they told us we would not be allowed back on Hickam Field until they built some air raid shelters and issued gas masks. And because there was a rumor that the Japanese were going to gas us and also poison the water.
Really?
Yeah. So we had to boil water from that time on. And after 2 weeks, we did go back to the base, and we were issued the gas masks, even the children were. And we had air raids practice in the nights. I remember that. It was really scary. The sirens would go off, and we had to put our house coat on and run across the street and get into a bomb shelter, which is, dug out dirt, and then they put dirt on top.
Sure.
And it's underground. And
so when everything is happening, you're in the mountains, you're there for 2 weeks, talking to neighbors, they saw the same thing. Are you communicating with other people? Are there people communicating with you and saying, did you see what happened? Did you hear? Were there rumors flying? Were there people giving you information? How did you find out what was happening for the 2 weeks?
Well, they appointed people to be like watchmen on the streets and in the house, from the house to house, because at night we had to black out. We couldn't have any lights showing. So they put cardboard and stuff over the windows because they were really fearful that the Japanese were going to come back. And there were big holes in the roads. I remember that. So you couldn't really travel. Even up in the mountains, there were holes in the streets where Japanese had bombed. And I don't know how my mother was staying in touch with my dad, but once in a while they connected.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't leave the base.
Did he give her information on what was happening? Was he able to tell her the conditions on the ground before you came back?
Yeah, I mean, he was telling everything was destroyed. And so many people were killed. The men that were in the barracks were killed, and amongst the whole barracks of people were killed, and they were sleeping. Sunday morning.
Right. Boy, so when you go back and you have these gas masks, you have these air raids, how do you carry on? How do you continue? How are you fed? How are you going to school? How are you doing all of these things that you just...
Well, you're just apprehensive all the time. There's fear everywhere. Because the rumors were flying that the Japanese were coming back and we were going to get bombed again. But then we tried to have a normal life. And I remember going to school Probably just for about 3 weeks, because they had started to transport the dependents off of the islands as fast as they could to get them back to the mainland. I remember we had to carry our gas mask on our shoulder when we went to school.
Wow.
And then we came home. I mean, we tried to have a normal life. Christmas came. There were no Christmas trees to be had, of course. So we made one out of the crepe paper. We cut it out in the shape of a tree and scotch taped it up to the wall.
Is that right?
That was our Christmas tree. And then by then they had started camouflaging all of the things on the base on Hickam Field, like the tower. It was all different colors, for camouflaging. And they did have a Christmas party for the children on the base. And I remember getting a little storybook doll, and the boys got little airplanes. And that's about all we got for Christmas, because we were packing, getting ready to leave, hoping that we'd be on the next ship out, And
how long did it take before you were on the next ship out?
Well, actually, it was February before we left. They told us we were the last ships of dependents that were leaving.
Mm.
And it was a big convoy of Navy ships, transports, battleships. We had 2 destroyers in our convoy. It was about 20 ships. And on our way back to San Francisco, and we had to zigzag all the way back, so it took a long time to get there.
Right.
And we had a few very scary nights of when they thought they had submarines sighted, and we'd have to go to our lifeboat stations in the dark. And it was pitch black because they couldn't have any lights showing on the ships, because then the submarines would know there's the ship.
Right.
Torpedo it.
And so, as you have these memories of December 7th, 1941, and you're there and you witness it, and we go through the years, and obviously here it is, and the war passes, and years pass, and you look back, and your memories of that moment in time, and on this day now as it's
77 years ago.
So on this 77th anniversary of December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy and for you will forever live in your memory, your thoughts today, what are they?
My thoughts today are sorrowful because I see America doesn't love America. People, they're not patriotic. They're selfish, and they don't have the same values that we used to have. I mean, we were when we came back from Pearl Harbor, we were raising, we as children would get our wagons and gather scrap metal to make, they were gathering metal for ammunition or making airplanes or whatever it was, but everybody was patriotic. I mean, we were rationed our food, sugar and tires, and everything was rationed back during the war. But we were happy that we could participate in that way to keep America free. And right now, people don't understand that for some reason. I guess you have to go through blood and guts and war to understand that we live in a great country. And they don't appreciate it. And it breaks my heart.
That was the interview from a few years ago of my aunt, who was sitting at the dinner table and describing what it was like for her on a very memorable Christmas year in 1941, as she was there to witness what was taking place at Pearl Harbor and ending it. So telling that even a few years ago, that there's a lot of that sentiment today, that there are large swaths of the American public, not you, but there's probably people that you can think of that don't love this country and certainly not doing enough to protect it, don't wish to, and wish for a whole different America. And let's hope it doesn't take something like she described at the end for us to be able to come together, because that's not the way it should be. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
I just had my checkup, and my doctor could tell I've been eating healthier. But sometimes I have a hard time covering the cost of food. Luckily, my Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan offers me a healthy foods card to help me pay for food at certain stores. If you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may get $25 to spend on approved groceries. You just swipe it like a credit card. My Humana Medicare plan also covers a lot more, such as medications, dental, eyeglasses, doctor visits, and hospital stays. Do what I did. Talk to Humana.
Talk to a Humana licensed sales agent now by calling toll-free 1-844-706-0557. Humana is a coordinated care plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Florida Medicaid program. Enrollment in this Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Sponsored by Humana Medical Plan, Inc. and the State of Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. Plans may not be available in all areas. Benefits may vary by plan. Call to learn what plans are available in your area.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired. Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
If you're moving, selling, or purchasing furniture and need help getting it home, there are a lot of moving companies to choose from. But wait, all moving companies are not created equal. Sure, if you're moving your college students' furniture, hiring young movers is fine. But if you're moving highly valued items, you need Rice's Moving and Transport. They meticulously pad wrap everything and secure your valuables and gently pack, transport, and set them up. Rice's Moving and Transport employs skilled professional movers who respect your belongings, not just young hunks who can lift heavy things. Moving is stressful enough. Don't stress about hiring the right moving company. Here's what Teresa in Naples said about Rice's Moving and Transport. I was so impressed when your moving crew came to my home. They politely introduced themselves by name. Seems small, but it made an impression. When you need help moving, trust Rice's Moving and Transport. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 12/21/2020. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment installation, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor. The Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Heat pumps take heat out of the air and put it in your pool. They cost less to run than gas heaters, and you won't have panels on your roof. Special pricing, rebates, and free on-site evaluations. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
So, Dave, what if your water heater dies?
Oh, man. No hot water? Helen's gonna lose it.
probably be the last straw for her.
No, wait a minute.
She'll have a lawyer before I even know what's happening.
Dave.
Splitting up our stuff, the kids.
Dave.
And I'm stuck trying to sell half a house with no water heater.
Dave, get a hold of yourself.
What?
So, what's the best case scenario?
Well, okay. Best case?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I make one phone call. Somebody's here today, gets it fixed up, no mess, no problem. Helen doesn't even know it happened.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 plumbing trucks on standby right now, waiting for something to go wrong at your house.
Right now?
Right now.
My water heater's fine, right?
It's fine. For now.
Oh, man.
When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
No lawyers?
You're good.
By Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Sunday, the Department of Health reported 606 new COVID-19 cases in Southwest Florida and 2 new deaths, one's in Collier County, the other in DeSoto. Today, Fort Myers city leaders will discuss hiring a new city manager. This comes after Saeed Kazemi submitted his retirement letter to Mayor Kevin Anderson last week. The mayor called on him to resign. Kazemi's retirement goes into effect May 3rd. Starting this week, 2 of the busiest roads in Fort Myers will connect. The Hanshin Street extension will connect Veronica Shoemaker to Ortiz Avenue. City leaders hope it'll alleviate traffic on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. MLK runs parallel to both Hanson and Colonial. If you're not happy with your child's learning model, you can switch it earlier. The Lee County School District says it'll continue to offer you the choice between in-person and virtual learning, but now you don't have to wait until the end of the semester to make that change. If you're interested in changing the models, we've put a link on the Wink News app for you with all the information you need. I'm Kirsten Delgado, Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on the interstate at mile marker 128 is causing a delay heading southbound. So if you are heading south of Daniels, I would stick to tree line because the delay is all the way to Aligo. Also, there is a crash in Lehigh at River Trent Court in State Road 82. This is slowing traffic very slightly if you are heading westbound towards Colonial Boulevard. And the crash in Lehigh at Williams Avenue and Lee Boulevard, eastbound slowdowns on Lee starting from Homestead Road. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, we will see some occasional passing rain, and then by later on tonight, we start to dry out. Temperatures for today from the upper 60s to the mid 70s and eventually becoming breezy. It's going to be chilly, if not downright cold for your Tuesday morning. 40s and 50s with some wind adding on to the chill. Highs only in the mid 60s with a lot of sunshine for your Tuesday afternoon. Very similar pattern for your Wednesday. Cold to start, cool by the afternoon with plenty of sunshine throughout the day until we try to flirt with 80 for the weekend with also a chance of rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right, all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family, at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomatoes.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
I said the word Medicare, you'd probably start thinking about paperwork and deadlines. But with the annual election period ending on December 7th, here's something else to think about. $0. Florida Blue Medicare has benefits that help you save money, like a $0 monthly plan premium and $0 to low copay for prescription drugs. There's also comprehensive dental, vision, and hearing coverage that includes discounts on eyeglasses, hearing aids, and more. See all the ways Florida Blue keeps money in your pocket, and you won't think of Medicare the same way again. But hurry, December 7th is your last chance to enroll. Call 866-219-7818 or visit floridabluemedicare.com/radio to switch today and see how Blue is committed to you. Florida Blue is a PPO health plan with a Medicare contract. Florida Blue Medicare is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Florida Blue or Florida Blue Medicare depends on contract renewal. All benefits not available on all plans.
Duncan's Diamonds invites you to our greatest Christmas sale ever. With Christmas just around the corner, everything in the entire store is specially priced right now with tremendous savings. Christmas will be here before you know it. So now's the time to buy everything from diamonds to the most fashionable jewelry at unbeatable prices. We guarantee you will be amazed and find great gifts for everyone on your list. This Christmas sale at Duncan's Diamonds is the largest ever. Now's the time to save. Come see us. You can enjoy Duncan's Diamonds layaway or save with fantastic holiday financing plans. People come from all over because we will not be undersold by anyone, anywhere. It's definitely worth the drive to Duncan's Diamonds. Save during this huge Christmas sale. Duncan's Diamonds for the best prices on diamonds and fine jewelry. We work very hard to make you happy because we believe in love. Come see us.
Duncan's Diamonds, US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. By the way, you can use the talk and text line anytime that you would like coming up as we do the thing. The thing is your phone calls. It's all about you as we finish out the program. I'll play some of the top 5 audio clips of the day. Maybe you have thoughts on it. Well, whatever it is, it doesn't even make a difference because it's all about you. It's all about what you want to talk about. And so we would love to get to that coming up. So right now, let's do it. The top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
You can't get away from the fact that their mission is to connect everybody in the world. That's what motivates Mark Zuckerberg, and it's his passion, and he profoundly believes in free speech. And, you know, those of us in journalism have to come to terms with the fact that free speech, a principle that we hold sacred, is being weaponized against the principles of journalism.
Okay, wait, I got to stop here. So there's the New Yorker Steve Cole, who was on MSNBC this morning, who is suggesting that Mark Zuckerberg is all about free speech. Facebook is all about free speech. And he's a profound supporter of free speech. But you know what? His profound support of it is problematic. And that in journalism, listen, when it comes to free speech, yeah, it's sacred and everything else, but it's being weaponized against the principles of journalism. Really? You know, let's just say it's a load of bunk. But at the same time, Who in the world is sitting there thinking to themselves, man, you are absolutely right. I got to tell you, when you're thinking about the bastions of free speech, I'm going to places like Facebook and Twitter to get to, says nobody, right? I mean, what in the world was that guy even talking about?
I think that is fine. I have no problems with it. I do believe that John Durham is going to carry out his responsibilities ably and hopefully not with any type of political influence. I sat down for 8 hours with John Durham and his team answering all his questions. And so looking back at 2016, were there some mistakes made in terms of the FISA applications, other types of things? Yes, apparently there were. But that doesn't mean that there was criminal intent. And there was no spying on Donald Trump's campaign.
Yeah, there's John Brennan there talking about John Durham being designated as special counsel to probe spying on the Trump campaign. And he's like, oh, I guess if he wants to do that, that's fine. But there was no spying on Donald Trump's campaign. Does anybody think that John Brennan is telling the truth? Do you honestly think that? And by the way, thank goodness for people like Chris Wallace, who kind of questioned him on that and pushed back a little bit and told him a little bit about the facts that are there of a case that he is intimately involved in, John Brennan, the Russian collusion hoax. Oh, that didn't happen. Chris Wallace never pushed back. He allowed John Brennan to say whatever he wanted and didn't. And why is that? That's problematic to me. Maybe it's just me, but I would like a little pushback, please.
Number 3.
And as I move all across the state, Greg, people aren't asking me about the courts and whether we should expand the courts. I know that's an interesting question for people inside the Beltway to discuss, but they're wondering when in the world are they going to get some COVID-19 relief? They haven't gotten any from Kelly Loeffler in months. And when she had a chance to stand up for ordinary people.
Yeah, I'll just stop right there. There's Georgia Democrat Senate candidate Raphael Warnock, who's refusing repeatedly yesterday, defaulting back to Kelly Loeffler, but refusing to answer the question at a debate on whether or not he's going to support packing the U.S. Supreme Court. Oh, nobody's even thinking about that. What they're thinking about is, COVID relief, of which Kelly Loeffler would not sign off on, which, of course, is because Nancy Pelosi, in her own words, decided that she was going to stall to push back. It was her the reason why COVID relief didn't come to those that have been looking for it for the longest time. But no, we'll not talk about that because it doesn't fit with the narrative. And there's going to be a lot of that coming up, and it's going to be the big issue in Georgia, and one that has to be recognized, one that has to continue to be looked at, and that is how important, how critical it is that we are able to see that, in the Senate race, that there is a race to be won, and we can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can have lawsuits being concerned about Trump and the election and voter fraud, and we can also be concerned about January 5th and making sure that 2 Senate seats will be in the hands of Republicans in the state of Georgia. We can do that, everybody, right? Yes, we can.
Number 2.
I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting. And
I wonder why people are protesting. That is one of the most powerful pieces of video you are going to see. Is a woman who has a cafeteria, a restaurant, a saloon and grill, Pineapple Hill, which is right next to an area where the governor, Gavin Newsom in California, decided to not allow her restaurant to be opened up, but literally steps away from her outdoor cafe, her restaurant itself, allowed for actors and production company individuals to have a dining cart brought in, tents of dining right across from her place. The hypocrisy of the political class is frightening. And what is going on when it comes to COVID should be recognized. And you would hope that people would speak out about this across the country. But no, in places like California, they seem to think that's okay? It's not.
Number 1.
Can't tell me that shutting down, which is the easiest answer, is necessarily the only answer.
Rick, I just as a public health and public service announcement for the audience, the difference between a big box retailer.
Who is this?
Hold on. The difference between it's Andrew.
Who else?
The difference between a big box retailer. Hold on. The difference between a big box retailer and a restaurant, or frankly, even a church, are so different. It's unbelievable. Going into a big box retailer,
I disagree.
You're wearing
You can
a mask.
have your thoughts, and I can have mine.
You're required to wear a mask.
I disagree.
It's science. I'm sorry. It's science. If you're
It's
wearing a
not
mask,
science.
it's a different story.
500 people at a Lowe's aren't any safer than 150 people in a restaurant that holds 600. I don't believe it. Sorry. Don't believe it. And I live in an area where there's a lot of restaurants that have fought back and they don't have any problems. And they're open.
Okay. You don't have to believe it, but let me just say this. You're doing a disservice to the viewer because the viewers need to understand it.
You are doing a disservice to the viewer. You are. You are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would like to keep our viewers as healthy as humanly possible. The idea of packing people into restaurants.
I think our viewers are smart enough to make part of those decisions on their own. I don't think that I'm much smarter than all the viewers like some people do.
I had to play the whole minute and 30 of that clip of the back and forth on CNBC between the great Rick Santelli of Tea Party fame and on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange floor, and Ross Sorkin, the co-host of CNBC's pre-market show Squawk Box, going back and forth, and how the liberal Sorkin shows exactly why so many people have an issue right now when it comes to how COVID is being reported.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
And what it is and is not. And it's this liberal elite snotty attitude that says we are liberals and we know what's best for you, and you're too dumb, stupid, ignorant to understand how important something is, even though when mask mandates are shown to be ineffective, when mask mandates and places where they didn't have mask mandates have the same amount of cases, and you can see it, and it's actually data driven and proven, that nobody wants to hear that on the liberal side. All they want to hear is their virtue signaling and their demagoguing on issues. And the big stores, the big box stores, are safer than restaurants or churches. Has there been any study of that? Any proof of that? No, it's just because the liberal says it, then you have to do it. And good for Rick Santelli for fighting back against that. And again, it's been the biggest frustration. And it's the end that's so important when Rick Santelli made the point and he said,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would like to keep our viewers as healthy as humanly possible. The idea of packing people into restaurants.
I think our viewers are smart enough to make part of those decisions on their own. I don't think that I'm much smarter than all the viewers like some people do.
That's right. Because if you're somebody like I am, like a conservative, you would believe in the freedom and liberty and choices of the American people as human beings. I believe in you and to make your own choices. I don't need a liberal or anybody else, any elite or any politician telling us that we're doing this for your own good. No, thank you. And good for Rick Santelli for speaking out about that, because so many people need to hear that. At this moment in time where we stand on December 7th, how dare we look and claim that certain people are ignorant of what's going on with coronavirus? They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly who's vulnerable. They know exactly who is not. And I choose not to live in fear. And hopefully you do not either. And to understand all the data that's out there and what is and isn't important in this. Good for Rick Santelli again. All right. 239-479-5592. Maybe you disagree on that. Maybe you agree. Maybe you have a different opinion on whether it's the president, the Georgia race, the election, whatever you want to talk about. It's time for your calls right now that take us through to the end of today's well-crafted program. I couldn't think of anything else to say. It's your phone calls. We call it the thing. We call it the thing. We call it the thing.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing. So what is your thing? That's why we're taking your calls right now. Carl's in Naples. Carl, here you have a thing. What's your thing this morning? Your phone call leading us to the end of the program. What's your thing?
Hey, my thing is that interview you did with your aunt. I was on my morning walk. That was a fantastic interview, and her last statements just hit home. And I saw there's two groups of students waiting for the bus, all had a mask on. So I stopped and talked to them for a second, and I asked them all if they knew what today was, December 7th, and they said no. And I said, it's Pearl Harbor Day. Have you ever heard of Pearl Harbor? Not one person heard of Pearl Harbor. One girl said, I think I've heard of it, but not from school. So I asked them if they would ask their teachers to explain what today was. And I gave them a brief explanation of when, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And the other question I asked them, I said, you've heard of the atomic bomb, right? And they kind of said, yeah. I said, well, find out how important today was, because if it wasn't for today, those bombs may never have been dropped because we may not have been in war with Japan. But I was stunned that middle grade students never even heard of Pearl Harbor. And it just tells you what they are not learning in U.S. history.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt. Listen, Carl in Naples, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. As we do the thing, your phone calls right now, 239-479-5592. And if you missed the interview with my aunt from from 8 o'clock, you can check it out once again on YouTube. If you go to our channel streaming live on YouTube or Facebook, you can revisit that. It's in the 8 o'clock hour. And she was there, and she witnessed what took place that day at Pearl Harbor and described it in vivid detail, all the descriptive things that were happening at that moment in time and what her Christmas was like that year. And again, ending it with something that so many people believe and are concerned about. And I couldn't agree with her statement more when you're looking at the situation and you're thinking, well, what about now? I mean, that interview was done 2 years ago, and even a few years ago, she was concerned about that very same thing about, what are we doing? What's the country like? Do people even love the country the same way anymore? And, there are probably individuals that you may have those specific questions about as we were finishing up the interview there and the call, and she was just pretty much saying
happy that we could participate in that way to keep America free. And right now people don't understand that for some reason. I guess you have to go through blood and guts and war to understand that we live in a great country. And they don't appreciate it. And it breaks my heart.
Yeah. And, appreciating the country and being willing to do their part and the things that they were doing to help the war effort. And would we be able to do that again? All right. Let's see. Rick's in Fort Myers. Rick, what's your thing this morning, Rick?
Well, just as a follow-up to the gentleman who was on 2 minutes ago, and he was speaking about the kids at the bus stop, it really kind of hit home. I have been thoroughly disgusted, I guess is the word, at what's been going on in the education system. And, I think a good percentage of our problems do stem from the fact that people do not appreciate the history of the country and the absolute incredible genius of our founding fathers. Yep. You think about, what they did to put a government together with 3 branches, 2 of which are accountable to the voters, 1 that's not, the balance of power, and all of that, by the way, being at risk with these Georgia Senate runoffs. I just am scared to death that as much as the presidential election, I am totally convinced was rigged. I am not at all confident that Georgia is not already pre-rigged. And if it is, it's the beginning of the end. It's just very scary.
Yeah, it's hard to hear that conversation with my aunt there. And thanks for the call, Rick. I appreciate it there in Fort Myers, and not take to the present moment and the present time and think a time then and a time now, and kids willing to do their part in a war effort. And now you have adults who aren't even willing to do anything to protect the sovereignty, the integrity, of the election. And fight for that, and fight for the truth and the facts, and to hang in there and to see, what we have. Tom Fitton just, tweeting out the left ruined the election. They did. They've ruined it. All right, we'll talk about this more tomorrow. And also, we've got to go to break right now and finish up the program today. But let me remind you at 8:40 each and every day, we do the thing, taking your phone calls, leading us up to the end of the program because I love hearing what you have to say. And also, if you're looking for the count for 10,000 for the troops, well, the good news is we have until Wednesday to get the count. And the good news means that we have lots of cards coming in, so we're going to have a full count on 10,000 for the troops coming up on Wednesday. The bad news is that it's a difficult thing to do because of the vid, and Kim Gate and Lee Health couldn't be together in the one building together with all the volunteers, so they have to go to separate locations, so it takes a little bit of time, but we're going to have it. And you've been amazing. 10,000 for the troops once again this year. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. We'll do that coming up, but first let's find out the remainder of the forecast with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
Some off and on passing rain in the forecast for